Sexism is so casual and prevalent in our daily lives. Society doesn't seem to be aware of the basic ingrained sexist roots that are tied with an everyday experience.
I think it has a lot of big impacts on the way people are living their lives now, especially women.
I was raised in a very traditional family with firmly and rather rigidly entrenched roles regarding gender, and I never questioned that. When I first questioned it, interestingly enough, was when I was in grad school and I started doing family therapy. That illuminated how people get pigeonholed into certain roles based on gender-based expectations, based on misconceptions. Prior to that, I was a pretty sexist person, I suspect, because I never really gave it a thought. It was just kind of embedded in my life experience. And then in grad school, I came to that recognition that things didn't have to be that way.
I'm currently studying to become a TV producer, and while doing so, I interviewed my teacher recently about different issues within the entertainment field. He discussed with me the fact that there is a lack of a market for women and other races and to become TV producers because it's a very male-oriented position. And so I find it interesting that as a woman, I'm going to have a harder time finding jobs as a producer than someone who's a man.
At my old high school, when my sister went there, and a young man inappropriately behaved in class and then said that it was a result of what the girls were wearing. And I went to a school with uniforms, so his claim was that their pants were too tight. And our teachers responded to this by calling an assembly, unbeknownst to our principals. All the girls in the school had to come to the gym immediately and were lectured that they needed to go out after school that day and buy bigger sized pants because they were too tempting for the boys at school and distracting them from their education. They are being told essentially that men's education from such a young age of high school is more important than their education.
And then we had 2 daughters, and it became quite real.
Casual sexism can be of the simplest things. For example, one day my mom and I went up to the grocery store and there was a man giving out free samples of salsa. Another man went up to try the different types of salsa, and the salesman did not say a word to him when he chose a hot one. My mom and I did the same thing, yet when we went up, he said, "Sweethearts, this is the really hot one," as if we were fragile in the sense of not even being able to consume a not very hot salsa with a chip.
Men being seen, for example, as kind of rough-hewn or assertive and strong, masculine, all those things having positive connotations. Women being seen as hormonal, bitches.
Feminism is a powerful word, and it is sad to see that it's perceived as a dirty word in this day and age.
For young children, when they are forced to fit into these molds, and then with young women who are told that they have to change their behaviors and the way they dress based on how men will react to them, is just sick.
I would like to see things change in the future. I think that if women started thinking of themselves higher, they would start to understand that they are not in people's way. They are not a burden on society, and they're not a burden on men.
I certainly have seen many instances of sexism. I've seen sexism at work. I've seen sexism imposed upon my wife and upon my children, upon my friends, and even my colleagues. I've watched women being treated differently, having different expectations, having their behavior explained by virtue of their gender, where that wouldn't specifically happen to a male. Or if it would happen to a male, it might have a much more positive spin on it.
When my children grow up, I want them to be proud of the term, for it is not just women teaming up with women to hate on man, it is the equality of sexes and genders on all aspects, through economic, social, and political. We are all human, we should all be treated with the same amount of respect as the next person.
I hope that in the future that my daughters and my sons don't have to feel like they have to act any certain way to fit into any certain role that has been predetermined. I want them to be able to feel what they feel and dress how they want to dress and express themselves in any way that they want. And that's how it should be for everyone.